to Educator.com's AP English Language and Composition course. This lesson is a set of tips for taking the AP English Language and Composition test. Let's get started. All right, we begin as always with a brief lesson overview. We're going to ask, what will the test be like? We're going to talk about the actual conditions under which you're going to take the test. We're going to look at what to bring to the testing site, what not to bring to the testing site because you will get kicked out or it will get confiscated. We're going to look at specific things you can do to prepare for the multiple choice section and for the rhetorical analysis essay, the argumentative essay, and the synthesis essay. And finally, we're going to look at last-minute strategies, things that can make a difference in your score even if you don't start preparing until the night before. All right. First of all, what is the test going to be like? Everybody wants to know this. Well, the AP English Language and Composition test is 3 hours and 15 minutes long. So it is a marathon, not a sprint. You go to a room and you sit in there and it's very, very quiet and everyone's really freaked out and you take a test for 3 hours and 15 minutes, no breaks. The test is usually held at schools, although you may have to travel to another campus to take it if your school does not offer this exam. So make sure you find out in advance where the test is going to be administered because you may have to make travel arrangements. The testing environment is usually quiet and nervous. There's no talking aloud once the exam begins, but everyone is under stress because it's a high-stakes test. So you'll hear a lot of shifting and fidgeting around you, probably more heavy breathing than you normally get during tests. There's going to be the quiet sound of people freaking out. Prepare yourself in advance for that noise and for that testing environment because everybody's going to be sitting in it, and if you're prepared, you have an edge. Now, here's one thing you need to know about the proctors. They take cheating and the appearance of cheating very, very seriously. Rarely, very occasionally, a student will be pulled out or have his or her results voided for cheating. So, whatever you're doing during the test, don't make it look like you're cheating, and especially don't actually be cheating because you will get pulled out of the test, they will void your score, and you will be in so much trouble with your parents. You will usually have 1 hour to complete the multiple choice section. Then you'll have a 15-minute reading period, and then you'll have 2 hours to complete the 3 essays. So yes, the essays show up when you're most tired. All right, here's what to bring to the test. First of all, bring several sharpened number 2 pencils with good erasers. 2 to 4 pencils is usually sufficient. Even if you don't normally break pencils, it might happen on a high-stakes test. I've seen it happen. I had never broken a pencil in my life until I took the AP European History test. 3 questions in, snap, the point pops completely off because I was pressing so hard because I was stressed out. So bring multiple pencils, even if you think they're not going to get dull, they're not going to break, they will. And you'll have a real problem if you don't have enough spare pencils. So bring spare pencils. You'll also want to bring pens with dark blue or black ink for the essay section. Bring several of those, preferably relatively new, and test it out in advance to make sure the ink isn't dried out. This sounds really stupid and basic, but at least once in every standardized test I took, someone had forgotten pencils, or their pen ran out of ink 2 minutes in, or something like that. Don't be that person. Test your pens out in advance and preferably use the newest pens you can get. You will also need to bring your 6-digit school code. Okay, that should have been issued to you by the College Board. You may need to ask your school for it. If you are homeschooled, you'll be issued a special code. Whatever it is, make sure you have it with you. You'll also need to bring a photo ID if you're taking the exam at a school other than your own. They're trying to keep you from hiring a ringer to take the test for you. You will also need to bring your social security number. Now, this is optional but recommended. Some colleges prefer to see your social security number on your test results so they can match you up with their records. So you may need to bring a copy of your social security number. You will also need your SSD student accommodation letter if you have been approved for extra time or some other accommodation for some form of disability.